This video contains the solutions to take-home problems number 9. For this first question, we're given 2 points and asked to find the slope of the line connecting those 2 points. So the formula for slope is m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And it doesn't really matter which of these points we call x1, y1 and which one we call x2, y2, as long as we're consistent. So usually just by default, I'll call the first point x1, y1 and the second point x2, y2. So taking those numbers and plugging them in, y2 is 15, y1 is 7, x2 is 10, and x1 is 4. 15 minus 7 is 8, 10 minus 4 is 6, and so our slope is 8 over 6, but as always we want to reduce that to lowest terms, so we'll write that as 4/3. Now we're asked to find the equation of a line with slope -3 passing through the point 4, -1. We've got 2 different ways of handling this question. So one is to use our slope-intercept form, which is a sort of normal way of writing an equation of a line, y equals mx plus b. And then we also have the point-slope form, y minus y0 equals n, x minus x0. Both of these can be used to solve this problem, but since we're given a slope and a point, it makes sense to use the point-slope form, since that's sort of built for this kind of problem. So I'm going to put in my point. My y0 is the y-coordinate of the given point, -1. The slope is -3. The x value of the given point is 4. And now I just have to simplify this and solve for y. So I get y plus 1 equals -3x plus 12. Subtract 1 from both sides, -3x plus 11. All right, this time we're given 2 points and asked to find the equation of a line that passes through those points. Regardless of which form we use, the point-slope or the slope-intercept, we're going to need to know the slope of this line. So let's figure out m, which is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Again, I'll call my first point x1, y1, and my second point x2, y2. So y2 is 0, y1 is 4, x2 is -2, and x1 is 0. So that's -4 divided by -2, that's 2. Now at this point we could say that we're given the slope, we got the slope as 2, and we're actually given 2 points. So you could say, let's use our point-slope form, y minus y0 equals m, x minus x0. But there's actually a slightly easier way to do this problem, which is to use the slope-intercept form. Because if we're paying attention and we notice, this point here, 0, 4, that is the y-intercept. That point is on the y-axis, and so that means that the b for my function is 4. And so I can just fill in the information. I know the slope is 2, and I know the b is 4. So my line is y equals 2x plus 4. Now if you didn't happen to notice that, and you use the point-slope form, you will still get this answer. It's just a little bit faster to notice that one of the points we were given happened to be the y-intercept. This time we want to find the equation of a line perpendicular to y equals 4x minus 1, and it wanted to pass through the point 8, minus 5. So what does it mean for the line to be perpendicular? Well, that means that if we take the slope of this given line, the slope that we want, the slope of the perpendicular line, is the negative reciprocal, -1 divided by 4. So the slope of the line they gave us was 4, so the slope of the line that we want is the negative reciprocal of 4. In other words, -1 over the slope that we were given, -1/4. So now we've got a slope and a point. We know the slope is -1/4. We know the point we were given was 8, -5, so we put the 8 there, -5 over here. That gives us y plus 5 equals -1/4 x. -1/4 times -8 is plus 2. Subtract 5 from both sides. -1/4 x minus 3. Finally, we want the equation of a line passing through the points 6, -3 and 6, 7. So again, our instinct would be, let's first figure out the slope. Whenever you're given 2 points, what we really need is a slope, so let's start to calculate that. But what we realize when we start to do that calculation is that we end up with a problem. We get 10 on the top of that fraction, but we get 0 on the bottom. And dividing by 0 is undefined. So now what do? We don't have a value of m. This line that we're looking for does not have a slope. Well, if we were to graph this line, what we would realize is that if we plot the points 6, -3, which is going to be somewhere around there, and 6, 7, which is up here somewhere, the line that connects those 2 points is actually a vertical line. And we know that vertical lines have equations that look like x equals a number. And in this case, the x value of these points on this line is 6. Both of the points we were given had x value 6. That's why we got a 0 on the bottom of our fraction. And so the equation is x equals 6.